Good morning, everybody. Welcome. My bangs are a little chaotic this morning, but at least I did my bangs this morning. I haven't put my bangs down in a hot minute, so I guess A for effort, right guys? A for effort. We're trying here. That's all we can do. All we can do is our best, guys. Welcome! Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope we're having a wonderful week so far. Happy afternoon in the UK. Well, welcome from the UK. It's so cool that, we can reach worldwide here. Thank you guys for joining the live. I really appreciate it. This is why I go live. It is for you guys. So please don't hesitate to ask any questions. If you're new here or if you're a returning guest, welcome and welcome back. My name is Digital Laura Anderson. I am the founder of the 10-Hour 10K Work Month. I am the host of 7-Day Weekend Podcast. I'm an expert in AI automation. I am a media buyer. What that means is I have clients, I run their meta ads, their TikTok ads, and I do their email marketing. And I teach others how to do the same. If you're looking to learn a trade that pays really, really well, that's what I'm here for. It's, my opinion, not the best, but the better alternative to going to school, because I don't work for anybody. I work for myself. I outsource all of the work. Essentially a mini consulting agency, and it allows me to, be here at noon in my bathroom hanging out with you guys. So welcome. And again, these lives are for you guys, and I answer your questions. So I usually let you guys dictate how the conversation goes just based on your questions. So we can ask any questions on media buying, AI automation, TikTok shop, the vendor side, 10-Hour 10K Work Month, all that fun stuff. What are you consulting? So I am a media buyer consultant. I have clients and I run their meta ads, their TikTok ads, and I do their email marketing. All of my clients spend over like $100,000 every single month on those platforms. So it pays really, really well to do consulting for them. And this was something that I learned completely online. I don't have a degree. I've never once had a client ask me if I have a degree. And I've pretty much automated the whole thing using AI and then outsourced all of the work to freelancers on Fiverr. So that's why I call it, or deemed it, the 10-Hour 10K Work Month. Because, we've all heard or read The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. Love that book. It's crazy, though, that it's like 20 years old, that book. And the whole thing about it is delegation and automation, but 20 years later we have better ways to automate and delegate, especially with AI. So that is why I call it the 10-Hour 10K Work Month. Work about 10 hours a month and make well over 10K a month. I usually make around 100K every single month, between 80 to 120, give or take, and by doing little work. What is your background? This is my bathroom, and I know I'm gonna get asked, why am I here? I am here because we are renovating our house, and it's been like a week and we're still waiting on them to deliver a bunch of stuff, so we can't really put the house back together until they put in some of the stuff. And the only room that's actually complete is the bathroom, and it's not complete. You see the door handle still missing. We still don't have door handles in, and it's been like a week. They said that they were supposed to come today, but they're like, oh, we're gonna come tomorrow. So we'll see. So this is why I'm in my bathroom. It's better than you guys seeing the cluttery mess that is my house right now. How long did it take to get your systems in place to be more hands-off? So I didn't start outsourcing the work to freelancers until about 5 years in, and I really wish I had outsourced way earlier, because it allowed me to work less and to make more money. And, in your head, you have some sort of ego. I did, at least, where it was like, if I pay somebody to do the work, they're not going to do as good of a job as me, and quality's not going to be there. And it's like, that's a little egotistical. Plenty of people can do a fine job. And the only way to grow anyway is if you hire help. So I had to get over that ego. And once I did, and I also thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose money. If I pay other people, that's money coming out of my pocket that I'm going to lose. And what actually happened was I made way more money because I was focusing now on bringing in more clients, aka bringing in more money, rather than wasting my time doing all of the work. And then this year is when I implemented and set up the AI automation that does all of the cold outreach for me. And what took me from $30,000 every single month to $100,000 every single month, because now that was like what I had to do was pitch my services and book clients, right? I was outsourcing all of the work, but like my job was quality control and client acquisition. And now I don't have to worry about client acquisition either because AI does the whole thing for me. And I started that this year. Sorry, I saw you, Kaylee. I saw you ask this question twice. I'm not skipping questions. Keep in mind, I am live at 2 places at once. I'm live here on Instagram, hello Instagram, and I'm live here on TikTok, hello TikTok. So if you see me looking in another direction and talking and answering a question, you're like, where is she getting these questions from? It's on the other platform. So I'm doing my best to answer all questions that get asked on both platforms. So you asked, did I have a marketing background in the past? And no, I didn't. I probably about 9 years ago had a dropshipping store because I was originally going to school studying computer science. I wanted to build websites. I was like, oh my gosh, women in tech, I'm gonna make so much money. I dropped out about half a semester for financial reasons and because I was learning how to build websites online without having to go to school, so I stuck with that. So I was building websites, and then back in that day was like the dawn of drop shipping, and I was like, oh well, I can build websites. I could easily build a drop shipping store, so I did. And I had to find a way to run ads or run traffic to the store, so I learned how to do Facebook ads, and I'm completely self-taught. And then after that, I started offering those services to brands. So no, I had no background, completely 100% self-taught. I've gotten lots of jobs that were required degrees that I got over people with degrees simply because I am an expert in meta ads or TikTok ads or email marketing, and that is like specialized skills we're seeing trump over degrees, like generalized degrees, especially because there's no degree in meta ads, right? And so if you want somebody to run your meta ads profitably, like you don't want somebody who's got just a generic understanding of it, you want somebody who's a skilled expert in it. But obviously I don't promote working for a company anymore because, I mean, if that's the route you want to go, absolutely. But I promote, going out on your own and doing it yourself and freedom. What's the best start place for someone who knows AI skills to produce content but needs help getting set up to market it? Knows the AI skills to produce content but needs help getting set up to market it. Well, if you've got the skills to produce content using AI, you can do shameless self-promotion and self-marketing. Just get on every single platform you possibly can, post 3 to 5 times a day. Even when it kills you, because that's exhausting and it's a lot, but that's the best way to free market yourself and to get exposure completely for free, What CRM do you use? I don't use a CRM. If you're talking about like my AI automation, I use Zapier to connect my Gmail to my ChatGPT, that's like essentially my clone, and a Google Sheet. For my clients, I don't have a CRM. The results I get that I provide to my clients, I get directly from the belly of the beast. So that's usually from Facebook's or Meta's ads manager. I report results from there. I put them into a Google document in the form of a report, send it to them, have calls through Google Meet. Yeah, no CRM. I call it like, people think that you need to have all of this fancy stuff in order to be fancy. So I call it like, don't get fancy until you're fancy, or it's just not necessary, right? Like so many people are like, oh, I want to start and do what it is that you do, but I got to get an LLC first, or I got to have a really nice website. I got to have a logo. I got to have a domain email address, like I gotta get like bookkeeping in place. And it's like, you don't need any of that. You haven't even started. You don't even have a client, right? You're not a business. You're an idea at this point, right? Until you start generating revenue, you are not a business. You are an idea that you're executing on. But you don't need any of that fancy stuff. I don't have a domain email. I still use it at gmail.com. I don't have a fancy website. I don't have a degree. No client has ever asked me if I have a degree. You don't need anything fancy. You don't need a logo, right? You could create a logo in Canva or use AI. And then later down the road, when you've got money from your business, that it's actually a business now because it's generating revenue, you can reinvest into fancier stuff. What's the name of the copywriting software your friend uses? ChatGPT. Copy AI is a really good one, but my favorite out of all the AI bots, chat bots, is you.com, you.com. Their free version is way better than ChatGPT's free version, and I'm not paid to say this in any capacity. But the only reason I will use ChatGPT often is because of their custom GPTs and because of their plugins. But for everything else, I'll use you.com. Kaylee, even though you have high revenue now, are you still acquiring new contracts? Of course. But I can be selective now, right? I typically only work with clients who are spending at least $10,000 per month and are looking to scale to at least $100,000 per month profitably, right? We're not going to scale to that if they're not profitable. But yeah, I have friends in this space who make 7 figures a month doing what I do. And I foresee that hopefully in my future as well. Do jobs want you to have experience running ads before hiring you? So if you're talking about jobs in the sense of like actually getting like a 9-to-5 job or working for a company, or if you're talking for like outsourced work, right, where they like hire a consultant like me, I go through, because the hardest part of any of this is booking clients, right? Getting people to pay you money. Of course, that's the hardest part. And it's even harder when you're a beginner, naturally, right? But there are really good tips and tricks in order to elevate yourself as a beginner. So I obviously promote outsourcing all the work to freelancers on Fiverr. So what you can do is you can use your freelancer's portfolio to showcase to book clients, right? Because you're going to be outsourcing the work to them. Obviously, this is with their permission. I give you the script for this in my training and use their portfolio. I've had tons of students do this trick and book plenty of clients, and now they have a fully robust portfolio and a freelancer to outsource all the work to. You can also showcase work you're capable of producing, right? So pick 3 industries, say hospitality, real estate, e-commerce, and showcase work that you're capable of producing. So take like a brand for e-commerce, say L'Oreal, and show how you would put together a marketing campaign, the types of ads that you would run, and the structure that you would run it under. Then you could also run ads for yourself as a showcase of work, right? So now you're a media buyer, right? You run ads, so you can run ads for yourself saying like, hey, I just had a student do this, and with her very first lead, she closed, and it was like a $3,000 a month lead. She ran a TikTok ad saying like, hey, do your TikTok ads suck? Like, you know, obviously in a more professional way, like that's because you're doing it wrong, or you just have no idea what you're doing, like let an expert handle it. And so now she has a case study of a lead generation campaign, and she doesn't go like, oh, look, a case study of me. She goes, look, a case study that I did for a lead generation client. And so now you've got not only leads that you generated for your business, but you also have a case study. So lots of really good things that you can do that, you know, you don't necessarily have to say like, oh, I'm totally new at this, like be my guinea pig. What do you need in order to be an amazing campaigner and media hater? I think maybe there was a typo, media buyer in my eyes. What do you need in order to be an amazing media buyer? So let's just say that was the question. And guys, I am live at 2 places at once, TikTok, hi TikTok, and Instagram, hello Instagram. So I'm trying my best to answer all questions. I'm not avoiding questions, like please keep asking if I don't answer it. I'm just trying to get through all of the questions that I can. So in order to be an amazing media buyer, in my mind, is to And well, I think this goes for everything in life, is to not assume that you know everything and that you're the best at everything, because when it comes to meta ads, or when it comes to any ads, or when it comes to any marketing in general, it's all about testing. And testing is all you can do. Nobody has the secret formula to crack on meta ads in order to explode in profits, right? It's all testing. And what works for one client probably isn't going to work for another client. I work with beauty and skincare clients, and all of the campaigns we run are different. All the audiences we target are different, and that's because we've tested everything for them, and we do what's right for them and what works for them. And it's all about testing, scaling what works, killing what doesn't, and continually testing and optimizing, and then that's how you get profitable and scaling profitable, right? Once you have stuff that's consistently winning and consistently profitable, you isolate, duplicate, and add a bunch of budget to it. So always be open to testing, and never settle on, okay, well, looks like we're going good, we're just gonna let it ride. And that's what a lot of agencies do. The majority of my clients come to me because they've been burned by agencies, because agencies are very like, we're gonna put you in the same structure as all of our clients. You're not paying for our expertise, you're paying for our massive amount of overhead, and we're gonna set you up and essentially forget you. So it's all about, if a marketer is saying that, like, you know, they don't need to test stuff, or they're just like acting like, because I've had some clients be poached by big agencies and they've always come back because they've been sold on like fluff metrics, like, hey, we have the secret funnel, right, that Coca-Cola uses, that all of these other big brand uses, and that's why they're successful, and we know it, and so we're gonna bring you on board and we're gonna do it. They're full of shit, because there is no secret, and it's just, there's no secret audience, there's no secret targeting, there's no secret. And anytime a marketer tries to say that, it's a red flag, and shows me that you don't know what you're talking about. Do I do seller or affiliate? If you're talking about TikTok Shop, I do the vendor side, so the seller side. That's the side that makes more money. Affiliates typically make 10 to 15%, and they're constantly having to push out videos with their Shop Now link, whereas the vendor who's actually providing the product to be sold is making around 50 to 60%, and they're not the ones that have to, create the videos. They absolutely can, but they don't have to. Am I going to say what the cheat code is? I think you're referring to the video that I just made about the cheat code to life, and I did say it in the video. It's AI automation. Outsource and delegate. Where do you source the most work as a freelancer? So I book clients on Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed, and then I've got referrals, and my AI automation is what books me the most clients, because that is where I do my cold outreach, but it's fully and completely hands-off, because the automation does it for me. Who are your clients? I work with beauty and skincare brands in the e-commerce space. Do you think this space is super competitive? So I get this question a lot, and it's a valid question. I hate this question, but it's valid. So like, I expect it, and it's normal for it to get asked. But first of all, it's like telling somebody, right, going into college, right, don't be an accountant, because there are so many accountants. Like, don't get an accounting degree because it's saturated with accountants, right? Everything is saturated and nothing is saturated, because everything is saturated, that means that that's the new baseline, right? There's nothing that you're gonna get into in this day and age that doesn't have a decent amount of saturation. And even if you do, you find the one thing that's undersaturated, you'll get into it, and 1 week later it's gonna be saturated, because stuff like that with the internet catches on like wildfire, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. So you can't worry about saturation in anything, right? Usually, like when I talk about TikTok Shop and being a vendor, it has low saturation, right? Because, we're in on this the first 6 months to a year. But even with saturation, like on Amazon is extremely saturated. It's been around forever. People get on Amazon and do Amazon FBA completely starting from nowhere, yesterday, and they make money. So it doesn't matter if it's saturated or if it's not saturated. All it matters is that you're consistent, and the people who, right, you can't lose if you don't give up, because consistency pays off more than anything else. And it doesn't matter if you're really good at something If you're not consistent with it, you won't succeed with it. And so competitiveness is like, you will lose more, like you'll be a loser more because of distractions, like, oh, it's too saturating. That's a distraction, right? You're telling yourself you can't do something because of that distraction, and you'll lose way more to that than you ever will from anything else. So you just can't think of in terms of saturation, because everything is saturated, nothing is saturated, and the only way to succeed in anything is to be consistent with it. If you dedicate 1 hour to 2 hours every single day, 5 days a week, for the next 6 months to one thing, to something, you will succeed at it. Like, it's a numbers game. And if you actually show up, and not every day has to be perfect, right? There can be a day where you're just like, I'm in bed, I'm done, I'm tapping out. Just so long as the next day you're back at it. You're looking extra pretty today, thank you. That's actually my husband, so I'll take that compliment. Thanks, babe. He's in the other room. I'm blushing, sorry. You were going to ask if I still personally did TikTok shop. The vendor said yes. How long does it typically take to become a vendor or seller on TikTok? So technically it should take a couple of hours, right? But it's all based on TikTok's approval process. It can approve you in 20 minutes, it can approve you in 20 days. Like, it's very hit or miss. But I have students who have started actually selling products within 24 hours, like sold a product. Took the training, got approved for their TikTok shop, put in a product, and sold a product all within 24 hours. Maria says AI is literally the cheat code to life. I fully and 100% agree with that, Maria. Do I have any specific guides on how I connected AI to emails to create the automation workflows? So I do. So I have a training. I actually have 2 trainings. One is the 10-hour 10K work month, which includes everything. And then I've got TikTok shop training, which teaches you how to be a vendor on TikTok shop, and it teaches you everything from A to Z. That TikTok shop training is included in the 10-hour 10K work month, but I do sell it separately. So the 10-hour 10K work month basically teaches you everything that it is that I do that makes me money. It's a full-on boot camp that walks you through it step by step. And so after you take the training, you are a certified expert in meta ads, TikTok ads, and email marketing. Then I teach you how to position yourself as an expert so you attract those high-paying clients. Then I teach you the hardest part, which is actually booking the clients. So I show you how to book clients on Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed. I give you every single resource you need to make that happen. So cover letter templates, proposal templates, contract templates, scope of service templates, pricing, packaging templates. You name it, you got it. And these aren't like templates from like, you know, anywhere. These are templates that I've created over the past 10 years that book me $12,000 a month clients. So really high-end expert level templates, worth the price of the course, the training alone. Then I teach you how to automate and streamline the entire thing using AI. And so the question we have here is, do I have any specific guides connected to the AI? Because I show you how to pitch your services, get cold leads completely automated using AI. And I did that by using Zapier, which is an automation tool. I created a custom GPT, which is essentially my clone. I trained it fully on my business, my pricing, my services. The way I talk, I fed it my email so it knows the cadence I speak, the tone I speak in, so it sounds just and talks just like me. But then I also trained it to be an expert negotiator and an expert closer. So really, 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 really amazing. And that entire thing is included in the 10-hour 10K work month. I give you the templates for it and walk you through the customization of it. And that clone, anytime I add a new lead to my lead list in that automation, it's triggered for that clone to write up an email, send the email out on my behalf, pitching my services, and do a back and forth conversation essentially until they close that client. And I show you how to get leads as well for the automation, and that's all included in the 10-hour 10K work month. I then teach you and show you how to outsource all the work to freelancers on Fiverr, what that whole thing looks like, you know, how to set it up, how to vet the freelancers properly, all of that. It comes with lifetime access. You get any and all updates. I'm always adding updates to it. I think right now it's about 16 hours long, and they are self-paced video modules, and you can always go back, rewatch, pause, And you get access to the updates at any point without having to lift a finger. It also comes, the 10-hour 10K work month comes with the mentorship group. It's a private Facebook group for students only. A great place for students in a community. I do student lives in there. I did one last week that was really, really good. And it includes TikTok Shop training, so how to be a vendor on TikTok Shop. Like the 10-hour 10K work month is the kit and caboodle. You get everything. And while I'm live, it is half off. So it's normally $4,000, but while I'm live, I offer it at just under $2,000. So the best time to buy is while I'm live. That offer does extend till about 20 minutes after the live. So you've got plenty of time to go check it out once the live is over, and see if it's a good fit for you. There is Afterpay option. A good payment plan option if that's something you're interested in. And then I do sell TikTok Shop training completely separately if that's all you want to learn. So yeah, very cool. I get a lot of students hopping in here all the time, commenting about the course and whatnot. And I know it sounds really cliche, but it's like nothing makes me happier than hearing my students' success stories and, being here with you guys and building this community. Can you become a vendor if you live in a country where there's no TikTok Shop? No, unfortunately. And that's because of your country, not because of TikTok. How does your automation know where to send your outreach to? Meaning, do you have to mine emails? So I show you how to scrape emails using Boolean searches and adding them to an Excel, or I use a Google Sheet. And anytime a new lead is added to that list, that's when the automation is triggered. The the chatbot will draft up an email in Gmail on my behalf for me and send it out. And the emails that it scrapes, I think the word is like, people get really defensive when I say scraping the emails, like as if I'm getting emails that aren't publicly listed somewhere. So I show you how to get emails like, so if you go onto LinkedIn, right, and say you need a decision maker that you want to reach out to. So for me, it's usually director of digital marketing, right? So I can go to Google and I can type in site.semicolon in parentheses, or not parentheses, in quotations, linkedin.com. And then in parentheses again, I put director of digital marketing, and then parentheses again, I put @ or .com. And so what happens is that Google search will pull all of the emails that are publicly listed on their profile, right? These aren't the emails that they use to sign up for LinkedIn that they don't post anywhere. These are the emails that are listed directly on their on their profile that anybody can go and look and see. What it does, it just aggregates that data for you. And so then you have a simple format to where you can extract all of those emails and put them into a Google Sheet. So it's not like we're scraping like emails that people have, signed up with accounts for and don't list their emails anywhere. This would be the same thing as if you're like, hey, I want to reach out to this company and offer my services. I'm going to go to LinkedIn and find out who the CEO is. And you go and you find out who the CEO is, and they say their name, where they work, and then their email address. And so you copy and paste their email and shoot them an email. It's the same thing. It's just aggregating that data for you so you don't have to go individually searching and pulling all of these emails. But I show you how that's all done in the 10-hour 10K work month. Sorry, I'm getting a lot of comments on TikTok. I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. If I didn't answer your question, just ask it again. I'm doing my best to answer all of them and not ignoring any questions. I'm alive on Instagram too, so trying my best to answer all of you guys. And that's really what I'm here for, is answering your guys' questions. After you buy the course, does it expire on us, or do you have free access for life? So you have free access for the lifetime of the course. I don't plan on ever getting rid of the course, so you're totally fine. It doesn't expire for you in any capacity. If you don't log in for 6 months, you don't lose access or anything like that. And you're also entitled to any and all updates. So I'm constantly adding updates to it, and you don't have to lift a finger. It'll automatically populate and appear in your course. Whoa, you are super duper intelligent. That's so nice. Thank you. Would I be open to setting aside any time to chat through your pitch for you for a scholarship? So I can't offer scholarships. I want to be fair to all of my students. And so it's just, that's what I do. I don't offer any other discounts outside of when I'm live. The 10-hour 10K work month is half off. And that's, again, to just be fair to all my students and to give you guys, as a thank you for being here and for participating, an incentive for you guys. Do you take a student from Europe since we don't have TikTok Shop? So I have students in the 10-hour 10K work month who are doing really, really well. I also have clients in the UK. The only thing you can't do is TikTok Shop, obviously, and that's not TikTok's fault. That's the country doesn't want you guys to have it for some reason. But yeah, the 10-hour 10K work month absolutely applies to anybody, anywhere. Sorry, I'm trying to get through. Is there any way to download the course, or is it only available through the website? It's only available through the website, but again, they're self-paced video modules, so you can watch them at your leisure. You can't download them because it's, you know, trademarked property, so the only way to access it is through the platform. Will the live price remain the same each time you're live? Yes, so I offer it half off every time I'm live. Unfortunately, I don't have like a set schedule of when I go live. I try to go live 5 times a week for about an hour. Usually my son is in daycare from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. And I'll go live sometime between there or when he's napping. But again, that can vary. He didn't sleep at all last night, which means we didn't sleep at all last night, so we let him play hooky. As if, I mean, daycare, he only goes for 4 hours, but, so he's playing hooky today, but you know, I have a stay-at-home husband, so, he's putting him down for his nap, soon, so I was like, oh, I'll go live for a little bit. Did you say it was a certified course, and if so, what type with who? So after you take the training, you're a certified expert in meta ads, TikTok ads, and email marketing. I provide the certificate for you. Great resource for you to have. You taught yourself how to do what you do. You need clients now. That's amazing. So I'm fully self-taught too. However, it took me about 10 years to get to where I am. And I do have students that, I just had a student live last week, and I had a student who purchased the training in June, and he has booked 9 clients at $5,000 per month. So he's making about $50,000. He says he has a couple other at like $3,500 a month. So he's making over $50,000 since June. Wild. So he's like hitting my numbers 2 months in, where it took me to like 10 years, because, you know, when you actually learn it from somebody who's doing it and knows what they're doing, rather than a bunch of trial and error figuring it out on your own, that's the difference. And yeah, the thing is that learning this isn't necessarily the hardest part. The hardest part, and I say this time and time again, is booking clients. That will forever always be the hardest part. And so when I was doing research to put together a training, that's where I saw every other course fall short. Was like, they would teach you, a lot of times too, they would teach you like the basics and the foundations of these skills, but then they wouldn't teach you like the maintaining, the optimization, actually making your clients profitable on these platforms. Which was another thing that I didn't like, and so I made sure that you guys learn from a complete expert. I go into my clients' accounts, show you the exact moves that I make. So, you know, it's the best way to learn is from somebody who's actively in it and doing it. But booking clients is hands down the hardest part. So a lot of the training is based on how you actually make money, how you actually book clients. I show you how you get clients on Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed. I give you every single resource you need to make that happen. So cover letter templates, proposal templates, contract templates, scope of service, pricing, packaging, client reports, competitor analysis reports, everything you need, invoicing, all of that stuff. And it's the templates that I use that I actually close, you know, $10,000, $12,000 per month clients. Then I show you how you can fully pitch your services to as cold outreach, right? Because Upwork, LinkedIn, and Indeed, that's warm outreach. They're already looking for those services, and so you just have to sell them on you. And cold outreach is a lot harder and a lot more tedious because you're going to hear way more no's. But I teach you and show you how to do it fully automated using AI. I give you the Zapier template that I built. It took me about 6 months to build and perfect and get to where it is. With a lot of trial and error, but it's a beast now. So what it does is I show you how to customize your own GPT. That's essentially the clone of you, your business, how you talk, everything, as a skilled expert and negotiator and closer, and it will reach out to clients and pitch your services on your behalf, back and forth negotiation, like all done without you lifting a finger. And that's what took me from like that's what really scaled my business from $30,000 per month to $100,000 per month, because booking clients is the hardest part. And now when you have AI doing it for you, you know, it's like my AI is my best employee. It works 24/7, doesn't complain, and I don't have to pay him. You love my robe. I have very fall vibes today. Well, thank you. It's from Amazon. It's actually really nice. You're unemployed at the moment. You used to be a radio producer, so not much options out there. Any advice? You know, I think it's sad that you know, you think because you did something for maybe so long that you don't think that you're able to do something else, like you don't have a lot of options. Because there are plenty of skills that you learned probably as a radio producer that would absolutely apply to other things. And so you actually do have a lot of options. It kind of depends what it is that you want to do. You could sell these services, you know, and use the services like Meta ads, TikTok ads, and email marketing, or any services that you learned as a radio producer to other brands or businesses. You're not pigeonholed. And a lot of people think that too with their degrees. Like I have a friend who's a teacher, she's an elementary school teacher, and she's been doing it for over 10 years, and she's like, I can't do anything else. Like if I want to do something else, I have to go back to school. It's like there's so many things you can do that you don't need a degree for. I'm very anti-school and anti-degrees, if you haven't noticed. The establishment. Please explain how meta ads work. Oh, good question. Okay, so how do meta ads work? And so I'll try to make this brief and as easily to digest as possible. Okay, so meta ads, when you say meta ads, I used to say Facebook ads because I've been doing it for so long. Meta didn't exist, it was just Facebook. And when you say meta ads, it's the same thing as Facebook and Instagram. You're running ads on the same platform, you're doing it on the same hub essentially, and you just toggle the placement you want the ad to be seen. If you want it to be seen on Facebook, Instagram, both, where you want it to be seen on those platforms, in just stories, in just reels, in just feed, in Facebook Marketplace only. So it's all done within the same, it's called Facebook or Meta Ads Manager, Facebook Ads Manager. It's all done within there. And so when you're gonna be running ads, you're gonna have to have campaigns. And the campaigns are the umbrella and the objection typically that you have for essentially what you want. So you'll have a campaign, and within those campaigns, you're gonna have audiences, and within those audiences, you're gonna have ads, right? So typically with a campaign, you're gonna have an acquisition campaign, which is gonna be a cold audience outreach. And so the objective that you're gonna wanna have for that is going to be the end goal, right? So I work with e-commerce brands, the end goal is always purchases. And so we're gonna run a campaign that's optimized for people to purchase. Because you can tell Facebook literally, or Meta, literally what you want them to do. Do you want more traffic to the website? Perfect. Do you want more engagement on the ads? Perfect. Do you want more leads? Perfect. Do you want more people to purchase? Perfect. You can select that, and Facebook will optimize to find those people with those behaviors within the audiences you select that will convert for your end goal, which for me is purchases. So I have a campaign, right, that's optimized for purchases. Within that campaign, I have audiences, and typically I want to test 5 to 10 audiences, right? I usually talk with the client. I say, hey, I give them a checklist of the things I need. And one of the things in the checklist that I need from them is their competitors and information about their average customer. So age range, things they like, things they don't like, all of that stuff. So within the campaign, I'm gonna have, we'll just go with 5 audiences for now that I'm testing. So say it's a Gen Z brand, okay? Some of the audiences we're gonna test are one of their competitors, if we can test them. What are things that Gen Z like the TV show Euphoria? What are other things they like? Coachella, okay? So those can all be audiences. Sephora, right? Those can all be audiences we test, and then within each audience, you're gonna have ads, and the same thing applies to where you're gonna want 5 to 10 different ads. The client provides the ads, you just input them, and you will have to write the copy for the ads, so the caption. And if it's like in a stories or a reel, you don't really have captions, right? It's just the video does the explaining for itself. And so that's gonna be your acquisition campaign, right? You're optimizing for purchases. you've got 5 audiences in there, and you've got 5 to 10 ads within each audience, right? All the ads can be the same within each audiences. You're just testing which ads produce results for which audience. So that's acquisition. Then you're gonna have another campaign for remarketing, right? So now we're gonna target the people who, you know, took some sort of action but didn't go ahead and make the purchase. So you can target people who added to their cart in the last 3 days but didn't purchase. You can target people who saved the post but didn't purchase. You can target people who went to the website but didn't purchase. And then you're gonna do the same thing. So test 5 to 10 of those audiences. So people who didn't purchase, people who commented, people who saved the video. And then within that, you'll have another 5 to 10 ads. And these ads, they can be the same creative, but you're gonna wanna have a caption that, you know, signifies, we know what stage in the checkout journey they are, or the purchase journey they are. So a lot of times if they added the product to their cart, you can hit them with an ad that shows that product that they added to their cart and say like, hey, we know you loved it. Here's a 10% off discount. Your cart expires in 24 hours. And those usually, you know, translate really well because you're giving them a discount. You're also putting it in their face, letting them know that their cart is going to expire. And so you can do a bunch of other campaigns too if you want to run a campaign for engagement so that you can run the ads that you can have social proof with a bunch of comments and stuff. Because if you're optimizing for purchases, your ads usually don't get any comments or likes because that's not what you're optimizing for. You're optimizing for purchases. So you can run an engagement campaign alongside of that. So then that way the ads that you're running have a bunch of engagement. So you get a bunch of social proof. You can run lookalike audiences, right? So you say like, hey, Meta, here are 200 people who have purchased from me. What are all the characteristics that these people have in common, and create another audience that has those same characteristics. And they'll produce a lookalike audience, and so you can run a campaign on that. And then once you've got all your campaigns set up, it's just optimizing and testing. So say, you know, your acquisition campaign, you had those 5 audiences, right? And say after 3 days, only 3 of them are profitable, 2 of them aren't profitable. You're gonna turn those 2 off and then put in 2 new audiences. And then same with the ads, right? You're gonna go into the one audience, and the 5 to 10 ads you have, say only 3 of them are profitable. You're gonna turn off the other 7 and put 7 new ones in. And it's a constant optimization game like that. Then once you have winning audiences with winning ads, you can isolate and scale. So you can isolate those. So just the 3 audiences that have performed really well with the 3 ads that have performed really well, duplicate it, isolate just those winners, and then throw in a bunch of extra budget in it, and now you're scaling. And there's obviously a lot more nuances in that, but I hope that kind of summarized it. Again, I teach you how to do it from A to Z fully in the 10-hour 10K work month. When you hire somebody to work on the meta ads, do you teach them how to do this? That's a great question. And typically no, because I'm hiring them because they know how to do it. They know how to run ads. That's why they're hired. But I provide them with the report that I give to clients. I give them the template for the reports so that they can fill it out for me. I look it over and then send it over to the client. Do you ask people to send you crypto on Telegram? No, you're talking to a spam account. I don't have a Telegram. I will never ask you or talk to you about crypto or spending money on crypto or ask you for money or tell you to go on Telegram or WhatsApp or anything like that. Uncheck audience network. See, this is where, okay, so he's saying uncheck audience network. That's a placement that you can have. Meta allows you to have placements on Meta or Facebook, Instagram, network audience, which is usually third-party websites or apps that are affiliated with them. But a lot of times, I usually like to, when I'm testing out, because this is the thing is, right, it's all about testing. So if you uncheck audience network, you don't know if it could have performed well for you, because sometimes for some of my clients, it really performs well, especially retargeting. And you don't know that because you didn't test it. So I like to usually let everything run, including audience network. So I'll usually do like auto targeting, and then I narrow it down based on because Facebook Meta will tell you the results, right? So you can see how many purchases you got. You can see exactly down to the penny how much money those purchases made you. You can see how many people clicked, the click-through rate, all of that. And then you can, filter it and show you which placements produced the best results, right? So whether that was Audience Network, whether that was Facebook, whether it was Facebook Stories, Facebook Reels, Instagram in feed, it'll show you the placements that converted the best. So after some time, after you're running it, you'll check those, you'll analyze those, and then you start eliminating the ones that aren't profitable for you. But as far as marketing goes, it's really, really a slippery slope to never speak in absolutes. Because it's all about testing, and you only ever want to test and then run with what works and kill what doesn't. Always, always, always. And I have so many people asking me about Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, and I think that they're trash. We're always testing them for the clients because the reps are always pushing them hardcore. And I'm always like, guys, okay, we'll run it, and we'll run it alongside what we're currently doing, but if it doesn't work, we're turning it off, okay? And they're like, okay, and then that happens and we turn it off. The thing is, though, is that I feel that Advantage Shopping Plus will get there. It's their way, it's Meta's way of, they've rebranded it into their AI. But it's been a bunch of things. It was dynamic creative, then it was Advantage Shopping, and now they're trying to position it as their AI. And it's basically saying, like, you don't have to do any work. Just throw up ads and we'll optimize and all of that for you. And ideally, it should be great. Like, less work for me. All I do is give you ads and you, like, figure it out. It's just not there yet. It's not there yet. And we don't know when it will be there unless we're continually trying it out and testing it. But for me, it's trash right now. How involved are you in the ad creative? Not very involved. I do a competitor analysis report for my clients, which I provide the template for you guys in my training. And I will show them the clients, the competitor analysis report and the types of ads that they're running, and kind of go over with them like what they can do that will be kind of in the same lines but better. Just kind of as an industry standard, like this is what's out there and this is you either need to be in line with this or above this. And then also in the reports that I give them weekly, it shows their best performing creative. And so it gives them a direction of where they can lean into moving forward with new creatives. Can we apply meta ads on ourselves? Absolutely, you can run ads for yourself. If you have the budget, the targeting AI has gotten much better. You can go broad. So broad audiences is one of the audiences that I always test. And you know what's funny is that I saw some guy who's big on meta ads and that's what his platform is. And he was talking about how running a broad audience, which running broad just means you can say broad, you could say open. It just means no targeting at all. You're going to just say, hey, Facebook. And obviously when you've got a bigger budget, it can spend, because the budget's all based on reach, right? It's not like you spend more money, the ads perform better. It's just the more people that see it, the better it can optimize. So say this is arbitrary, but you spend $100 on ads, 100 people see it, you know? So it's not like the ads are gonna perform better in any capacity. The results are exactly the same. It's just, you'll get the results a lot faster when you're spending a lot of money. But I always, and that guy, he was talking about broad audiences and like how broad audiences are performing really well. And everybody in the comments was like, this is trash advice. Like you always want to hyper target and all of this stuff. And I was like, first of all, they're coming at him and for no reason. And I test broad audiences, open, no targeting, every single time. And the majority of the times, like 80% of the times, it's like one of the audiences that I leave running for my clients because it performs well. And that's with any budget. And so I was really surprised to see that. And I was like, back in the day before the iOS 14 update, like you really hyper targeting used to crush it. It used to do really well. Lookalike audiences used to do like insane. But yeah, it's changed, and it was just funny because I was like, I feel like, are people going backwards with thinking that hyper targeting is like the way to go? And that's also what I don't like. Is like there's no secret sauce. You just have to try hyper targeting, try broad audiences. Like you have to test it all. But the targeting AI has gotten much better if you have a big budget. I could probably see that, but again, it doesn't outbeat the audiences or the campaigns that the other campaigns that we're running. So it's like, you know, where do we want to dedicate the budget to? Into the AI that's doing okay, or the ones that are outperforming it? But again, just test it, because, you know, are these AI meta tools or just analytics? So all of this that I'm talking about, the results that I see, are all from the belly of the beast, the back end of Meta's ad manager. There are like platforms that you can use that will aggregate data from all of your marketing efforts, like Triple Whale or Hydros, but the tracking is skewed everywhere. No one's like, Facebook used to have really good tracking and be able to give you really good metrics and results. But again, with the iOS 14 update, we haven't seen that that great of tracking, which that's not to say it's still super profitable and doable. It's just, there was a nice little glory days of meta ads. Like, you could run $20 a day ads and do really, really well. It's not like that anymore, but still super profitable. And you're gonna see different results on places like Triple Whale as you will from Google Analytics, as you will from Meta ads. But as a Meta expert, I report directly from the belly of the beast. If this is what Meta is saying the results are, that's what I'm going with. Even though they're like, you have to keep in mind it's not 100%, but it's still like, this is the platform I'm spending money on, so I'm taking their word on these results. Which programs do I use and how do you use them to automate your business? So my business is really automated through AI. I use Zapier to automate everything. If you buy the course, do I mentor? You're very interested. Well, I'm glad you're very interested, and I hope I see you on the other side. I don't do one-on-one coaching, but if you purchase the 10-hour 10K work month, you have access to the student mastermind group. It's a private Facebook group just for students. I answer every single question that gets asked in there, and you can shoot me an email. I also do student lives, and I do lives here, and I have students hopping in here all the time asking questions. How do your clients hire you in terms of paperwork? Do they pay insurance for you? They don't pay insurance for me. If you're talking about like health insurance, I pay my own health insurance. You get hired as a 1099 contract worker. You're in info education, so audience network isn't usually very good, but for your e-commerce clients test. Yes, I agree. How much is the training? The 10-hour 10K work month is typically $4,000, but while I'm live, I offer it half off, so it's just under $2,000, and there is a payment plan option. You get lifetime access to it. There are self-paced video modules, so you can take your time. You get access to the Facebook group. It's a really great community for students where I do student lives in there, as well as, of course, always going live on here. I do have to get going, though. I try to go live for like at least an hour, so if I didn't get to answer your questions, please feel free to leave it on my most recent video. I do my best to answer every single question that gets asked. I'll try to answer a couple more while I'm still here. Let me scroll all the way down because I'm sorry, like I am live at 2 places at once, so I'm doing my best to answer all the questions here. How much money do clients need to spend on ads to get good results? So like I mentioned, it's not based on the money that they spend. It's all based on reach. So, you know, you're going to get the same results. It's just you're going to get them a lot faster. And the testing process is going to be a lot quicker when you spend more money, because it's not like the more money you spend, the better the ads perform. It's just the more people that get reached. And the more people that get reached, the more opportunity for converting. And so, you know, I mean, you know, this is on a small scale, but you want to spend at least $5 grand a month to see any traction. But again, you know, you could spend 20 bucks a day and do fine. I actually have a student who she has her own, I'm not going to disclose specifically what she does, but like custom clothing She does her own custom clothing that she was selling on Etsy, and she was like, hey, I'm going to run ads for it, and then that way I have a case study to book clients. And so she started running ads for it, and she said her sales went up 500%, and she's spending $25 a day, and that she's getting like 2 to 3 sales a day, but her products are custom, so they're priced very high, so she's got really high profit margins, and so she's making like a killing. So, you know, people like Gary Vee charge $50K minimum. How can he do that? Because he brings more in value to the client than $50K. So like I have clients and I charge them, you know, $12,000 per month for meta ads. In return, I bring them in, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. My clients typically see like 3 to 4 times return on ad spend consistently, more during sales. But so for example, they're spending $200,000 a month, they're making $600,000 per month, paying me $12,000 per month is nothing. So people like Gary Vee, who's working with brands like Coca-Cola, who spend $2 million every single month, charging $2 million every single month and making $6 million every single month, charging $50K is nothing. Tons of agencies charge that price, and a lot of them don't produce good results. But I have nothing but good things to say about Gary Vee. I've met Gary Vee. I like Gary Vee. People think he's kind of scammy, but he's not selling anything. Like, he runs an agency, so I don't know where he comes off as scammy. Do you teach how and where to run ads to larger clients? I do. So I do have to run, guys. Gary is real people's. I agree. Like, he's not selling anything, so I don't know what he's scamming people out of. You know, people just don't like him because he curses a lot, and that can rub people the wrong way. It is what it is. I'm not a cursor, so, but, you know. So I do have to get running. If you guys want to check out the 10-hour 10K work month, learn everything that it is that I do that makes me $80,000 to $120,000 per month. You can find that in my profile. It's called the 10-hour 10K work month. The enrollment page will give you plenty of testimonials, a little sneak peek of what's inside the course, and the checkout page does, if you scroll down, have a text number. So if you have any last quick questions, shoot me a text and I'll answer. It is half off for the next 20 minutes only. So if you want to get it right now would be the best time. And yeah, so thank you guys so much. You guys are the reason why I come here and go live. Like, nothing makes me happier than hearing my students' success stories and being like, oh my God, I just quit my job, or oh my God, I just had my first 5K month. It is why I do what I do. And so I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you. And I will talk to you guys all soon.